Greetings and salutations, I'm Zook, your lovable Dungeon Master, and welcome to Geeks Anonymous. Today we are joined with Kaz, Dolphy, and Detached Hunter, and we will be playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons. This is
swear every
the
other game you fuck up
sixth...
my name.
What?
I swear every other game you change my name.
Yeah. Sig, Detached Hunter.
On
um,
purpose.
this is our sixth episode of this chapter of this story arc, which is labeled, has been officially dubbed, Oops, All Wizards. Yeah, so before we begin, a couple of quick announcements. All the music you will be hearing tonight is from the from wow, the royalty-free... Yeah, my brain is not working today. The royalty-free site called incompetech.com, like Tia said, and you can go there, and basically all the music there is completely, like I said, royalty-free. Man, I'm just repeating myself now. Uh, go there, don't get it DMCA strike. Let's just leave it at that. And all the minis, well, a lot of the minis that you will see today are from Hero Forge. They have a new direct-to-TTS... What are you doing with the pinging?
There's a floating miniature map.
Yeah, that keeps track of the One World stuff.
I don't know that. I was just confused because I lost the fucking coin, and then I was just like, oh, something's in my peripheral, and then it's just like, why the fuck is there a floating map?
Yeah, that's where One World keeps track of all the maps. But yeah, Hero Forge, go there, download straight to TTS functionality. Use my link below to do stuff with it, I guess.
It's like a free month subscription or something, right?
The
free model.
You I think it just gives me a little bit. I'm not sure if it passes a discount or just gives me some contributor points or whatever. So, okay, my brain's fried, so I'm just going to get right into it, and let's do the recap of last week's episode. So, entering Darktooth Tavern, the four find themselves blocked by an ogre named the Brig. Eventually, he was told to step down and let the students pass. They ordered their drinks, tea for Eliusia, ale for Zinni, and the strongest drink they have, Dragon's Breath, for Visca. After downing the Dragon's Breath ale and almost choking on the included scale, Visca was out like a light. Eliusia encountered Zinni to go speak with a cartographer whom she found attractive. Mustering up the courage, Zinni introduced herself and complimented the dwarven woman's appearance. The two hit it off immediately, taking the conversation quickly to the bedroom. After artfully obtaining a map with Lipstick's kissed signature, Zinni returned to the group the following morning as Visca nursed her hangover. After preparing for the journey ahead, the four exited the city of Irusan and ventured onward to the Siban ruin. Pushing through the sands using geomantic cantrip, the four fought past the brutal winds of the sandstorm. In the distance, Lenny spotted a tree with a nearby oasis. There, a man lay burnt with pieces of fulgurite spiked around their scorched remains. They determined that this person was electrified to death, and recently, they would come to the conclusion that either the dragon was not dead, or there were others. Uttering an incantation, Eliusia conjured the spell to speak with the body and ask it 5 questions. First, she asked for consent. The corpse obliged. Then, how long ago they died. 3 days. Then, if they saw what caused it. Dragon. Then, if they were with others. Yes, 4 others. And finally, if they have any final requests. To which he gave his gold. He wishes to have his gold delivered to his daughter, Isabella. After speaking with the past one, they set up camp for the rest of the night, recharging from their arduous journey through the sandstorm. The night went by uneventful, but Luddy was alerted to vibrations underneath them, calling out to the others as 2 Onkangs emerged from the sands below. They roused from their sleep and entered the fray. The battle was not an easy one, with both Visca and Eliusia falling in combat and needing to be force-fed a healing potion, but the four would be victorious in the end and continue their journey. The skies
Literally
shone
got
on
to do shit.
the skies shone on them that day, and the weather was cooperative. In the distance, a hand sticking out from underneath the stand piqued their interests. They uncovered the second body, who this time would not consent before judging Eliusia for her necromantic ways. The others searched their body to find nothing of much use: a little coin, an empty ration pack with an empty water skin. But upon further inspection, though, Visca found a small pouch of what appeared to be sand, and upon further inspection, however, it would be revealed as dust of corrosion. But why would these adventurers need to combat metal out in the middle of the desert? Only time will tell. Okay, so that's basically where we left off. You are basically right where, like, literally still there. The body is below you. You have obtained the dust of corrosiveness. What do you want to do now?
Also, a beer was being a petty bitch.
Yes, a beer did contact,
he-
and he was being an asshole.
What an asshole.
What an asshole.
Petty,
A bitch.
petty bitch.
We're gonna drown him in sand. That's what we're gonna do.
I mean, yep. That was my threat.
Why did you put the creepy music on? That was never a good sign in Exalted. Why is it here?
What do you guys do? There's a lot of
Change the
sand.
music. I'm gonna take a fucking perception check.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't
Make a
know what I'm.
perception
I
check.
don't know what I'm looking for, but the music is making me haunted. I have a 17.
Plus, what's your perception?
0.
Okay. So a 17. You look around. The sands are calm. The sky is blue. It's very sunny. It's a little warm because it's the desert. But other than that, you don't see anything out of place. Loki, thank you so much for the bit.
I don't know if it would be a nature check or a survival check, but can I see how old the body is?
That would be a
Like,
medicine
try to-
check. Yeah.
That's okay.
Are you looking to see how long ago it died, or how?
Yeah. How
Hey,
long? it's been
excellent.
dead?
Thank you for more bits. All right, yeah. Then go ahead and make a medicine check.
I'll probably die. 7. Yeah, I got no modifiers on that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. There's sand in places that it shouldn't be, and it's very possible that the heat from the sun and the atmosphere in this area could have caused the decay to kind of quicken. So
Mhm.
it's really hard to pinpoint exactly when it died.
And there's
Okay.
nothing in the immediate area.
Perhaps we should keep going.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to be ambushed by prey mantis again.
Good thing.
On kegs.
You
No more dead
basically
things.
described them as giant angry
I
prey
mean, they
mantis.
kind of are, to be fair. Okay, so you guys continue on your way?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. You begin heading the same direction, north by northeast, to try to get to the destination marked on your map. At this point, I will have everyone, I'll have one person make a die 12 roll, and one person make a die 100 roll.
I got the die 12.
Just take the result
Oh,
on the
did I
left.
accidentally hit 2?
All right, so
Whoopsie-doodle.
that's a 2.
And then you said 100?
And then, yeah, a die 100.
So it would be a 10 twice.
I think I rolled a 10.
Yep.
You did.
29. Okay.
I'm disappointed because it was almost 69. But then it rolled
Nice.
onto a 2.
That's fine.
So
I have a
angry.
sneaking suspicion that higher numbers in this instance might not be great. Basically,
Bazinga.
whenever whenever Sook has us roll a D100, I always feel like the higher the number, the scarier whatever we're gonna have to deal with is. And
I mean,
Fair.
that's not an inaccurate description. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
clear out these buildings real quick so I can have a an
pretty
accurate
sure at one point
representation.
we said that a 100 was like instantly a Tarask or something.
100
No,
is
it's a
always
dragon.
100 is always a dragon. Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we got that dragon on that island that one time, Tia.
That you were
You mean
able
my
to
friend?
animal handle it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. I just need to get rid of
Oh,
these buildings
that
real
was
quick.
an incredibly lucky roll for me.
Yeah, it was. It was great. Wonderful.
Both because you had me roll, what was it? I think it was like a percentile to see if it was still sentient or if its brain had degraded
Yeah,
to the point
yeah.
where it was no longer sentient.
Because of the
And
nature of
then
Null.
I had to roll handle animal.
Yep,
Yep,
that was good. Just
it
trying
was
to
wonderful.
get rid of these freaking minis.
That's okay. You know, I can continue talking until
Go
you
for
have
it.
completed your
Yeah.
mission.
You guys can start role-playing with each other while I'm doing this.
Yeah, I have sand in places that I didn't know I had places. And especially my
So-
fucking shoes.
So TikTok has me singing that fucking mountain goat song. So
Oh,
like,
no.
so my brain is just like looking out at the sand, going, "I'm drowning. There is no sign of land."
God.
Oh.
Okay, almost done here.
And it's so funny because I'd never. So like, I had heard of the mountain goats previously because of one of my former coworkers.
The screaming ones or the dying ones? Or the jumping
No,
ones?
it's a band. It's
Oh,
a band called
okay.
The Mountain Goats.
There
Oh,
we
that
go.
reminds me.
That's good enough.
I'm catching up on Dragon Age Inquisition again because I started playing the gay. Oh, again.
A gay?
And I got to the a gay.
I mean,
And
it's Dragon Age, so yeah.
I got to the part where you're in the seat of judgment, and Josephine walks up and she's just like, "So we have this guy, and he was assaulting the castle walls," and she like pauses and she's like, "With a goat." And
What?
yeah, and then your character's just like, "With a goat?" And then it cuts to a cutscene of a goat just flying into the fucking side of the castle.
Nice.
And it's
Delightful.
just like, what?
Is this
and
a
then
Monty Python
and then the
skit?
dude that we're judging is just like, "You killed my son, so it is tradition that I slather your adobe with goat's blood."
What?
And your character is like, "The fuck?"
Alright, buddy. Do you, I guess.
Okay.
I've never
There's
played
a
Dragon
couple
Age, so-
floating things here, Dave.
Just help me delete it then.
I can't.
Why?
It doesn't let me interact with them.
Nice.
You are the only one who can.
Yeah, I'm not even in DM mode. There we go. I'm prepared, I swear.
Brutal.
Okay, so you, what? Just stop pinging me! That is the door. Alright,
That's-
leave me alone.
That's okay. We were fighting over the coins a minute ago.
Oh, this game is doomed from the start.
Yep.
Of course it is.
Okay, so with the 2 on the random environmental roll, the heat becomes so sweltering hot. It starts beating down on you. All of you are basically sweating profusely at this point, to the point where you're going to have to use up 2 canteens of water each instead, or in Eliusha's case, 4. So it's a very hot day, and you're basically trudging through the desert, and I'm going to have the person in the lead make a survival check.
Do I still have advantage on
Yes,
those?
you still have advantage because it is still the same day.
It's a good thing that Lunny doesn't need to drink fucking water.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. That looks like a
God.
natural 20.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, natural 20. Yeah, you're able to find a little bit of cover here and there from like boulders and stuff. Take breaks enough that none of your party suffers any exhaustion levels. However, you are going to use up twice the amount of water today. As you continue forward, you see in the distance there are like crumbled walls and like the ruins of what looks like an old civilization that has either long been forgotten or has been buried for so long from the sands that people just don't even know it exists anymore. So yeah, you're heading towards and you see the mounds of sand in front of you. The heat is still blistering down, but it looks like there are a few trees and a little bit of water in a few locations as well. So not a bad place to stock up on water while you're here.
Okay.
I
Would
have a
Lunny be
question.
able to use mold earth to make some sort of shelter for the people who are more susceptible to the heat?
Absolutely. Yep.
To the flush bags.
Yep.
All right. So you begin.
And
Yes. Go ahead.
so there are trees. Are there any like normal desert fauna? So not fauna, flora. So like cacti.
Yeah. There's cacti. There's different things like that. Yeah. I'm not really hugely knowledgeable about all of the fauna, flora that would be in a desert, but yes, I will say there is an array.
Can I roll a nature check to see if I can find any that have water inside them?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a laugh.
And then I just have to, that's my little gremlin laugh, yes. And then I have to hope that they're not the
Natural 20.
hallucinogenic. Yeah!
They're only hallucinogenic if you want them to be.
No, I do not want a cactus juice moment.
Okay. No, but you do find a substantial amount of cacti juice that you can, store into one of your into your canteens. And it's enough to fill two full canteens.
Yeah.
Okay, so between the two of them, they used 4, and we can fill up 2.
Yes.
Okay. Is Eliusia keeping track of her own?
Yes,
water skin?
Eliusia is keeping track of her own. She has 4 left after using up 2.
I replenished the ones that I used.
Okay, excellent. Okay. It's not a bad place to take a short or long rest if you need it. Otherwise, you can keep going.
Would we be able to fill up all of the water skins with the water that we've found in this area?
Yes.
Or... Okay.
Yep, you could do that while taking a short rest.
So let's take a short rest and do that.
Okay. Go ahead and hit the short rest button, and that should get you some HP back if you want to spend some hit dice to replenish your whatever you have taken for damage.
What's hit dice?
So how much hit dice? How many hit points are you at right now?
I'm at 8.
You're at
20.
8. So you see on let me get to your character sheet. Oh yeah, that's right. It's on this side. So you're at 8 out of 20. Your hit dice, you have 3 dice 6 worth of hit dice. So you can roll up to 3 dice 6 and gain that back for HP. But you don't have to spend all 3 of them, because once you spend them, you don't get them back until after a long rest.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a short rest. And I'm gonna use one of my hit dice.
One of your hit dice. Go ahead and roll
I
1 dice
used
6.
2 of them because I was
Yep.
hurting.
So you get 1 dice 6 plus your Constitution modifier.
Plus 2. 6. Plus 2.
Wow.
So you get 4 HP back. Did you want to spend more?
No.
Okay. And you
I think
used
that's
2,
fine.
Kaz?
No,
I did. Yes.
Yeah, and that would have given you an extra 5 to whatever you rolled because of your constitution.
It's 5 per hit die.
Is it per hit die?
It's per hit die.
That's wonderful.
So I got 2d6 plus 10.
So that means you have an additional 2, Sig.
oh,
No,
okay.
Sig only rolled a 1.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You only rolled 1. That's right. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm not with it today. Excuse me.
That's
Oh.
fine.
Okay. While you guys are hanging around, I'm going to have someone make a perception roll. Or investigation, whichever is better.
Investigation!
Investigation!
Investigation. That is a modded 18.
Okay, 18. Not bad. Anybody else?
Yeah, might as well. I'm gonna do investigation because my perception is shit.
I will let you know
That's why I
that if you get perception, you'll see more of the outward
Why?
stuff. Investigation will be more like clues, and you'll get different information with investigation.
Oh, then you know what? Perception. So 17.
17? Okay. So, Visca, as you're looking around the area, it's odd. It looks like some of this has been excavated. And you actually find what look like strange symbols on one of the pillars that has been uncovered. And there's claw marks around the base of that column. So we'll point to this right over here. And it looks like there are deep grooves, almost like it's been clawed by something.
After you do Zinni, can I do are they like arcane symbols?
They technically it's gonna be a religion check. So go ahead and make a
Okay.
religion check, and then we'll get to Zinni afterwards.
Oh, cool. I specialize in religion. Where I only have a +6 to religion. 22?
Okay, 22. You don't recognize exactly who this god is that the symbol belongs to, but it does have a sense of familiarity to some of the old gods, some of the gods that didn't come back after the era of rebirth. So basically, someone has uncovered either a temple, a buried temple, or the ruins of a past temple to one of the old gods that is no longer spoken of.
Zook, what language is this in?
What languages do you know?
I know too many. I know Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, and Primordial.
It is deep speech.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry, undercommon. Deep speech is ocean. Undercommon is underground.
Oh, okay. So I don't know it then.
You don't know undercommon. Okay.
I know Deep Speech.
Yeah. So it is belonging to someone from. You do know. You can actually make me an intelligence check. See if you recognize that it is undercommon.
Hold on. My mouse just like went insane.
Yeah, I hear you.
Let's see. 7.
It's bizarre. You're not able to place its origin, unfortunately, but
7.
but you
Damn
have associated the symbol coming from the Underdark before, so it's maybe reasonable that it might be undercommon, but you're not exactly sure.
Okay.
And then Zinni, as Visca is looking in that around that area, you're just kind of scanning the environment, and you hear a in the distance.
I don't like whatever that is. Hey, you guys, I heard something. It sounded. Can I judge how far off it is or no?
It sounded. It sounded close-ish. What did you get for your check? Do you remember? It was like a 17?
17.
It was a 17.
A 17 modded? Yeah, you can't really judge the distance, but you can say it sounded like there was communication, so there's probably a small group of whatever is making this noise.
Hey guys, I heard something, and it sounds like things might be coming, and I don't know what or how close it is, but last time something came,
Right.
You have a fair
two of you
point.
almost died. Two of you almost died.
Okay, so what do you guys do? By this time, you have managed to finish the shelter at Lunny.
Okay.
Can we just make it look like a solid thing of dirt?
If you would like, I could put, if we all get inside of it, I could cover it and try to hide our position.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay. So, do all of you go inside of the hole?
Sure.
All
Yeah,
right.
why not?
So all
Climb
of you,
in the hole.
you go into the hole. You go into the hole, and she begins to use what is it? She begins to use oh God, what is that called? I can't think of what it's called.
Is it the moving earth thing?
No, she's using an illusionary spell. So you see her basically concentrate for a moment, and you see a shimmering outline. It basically just looks like regular dirt, like there's no hole there at all. So it's out, your hole is out of the way, so hopefully they won't travel over it, but there will be a chance that if something does come through their area, it could just fall right through it. So she's gonna make a deception check.
Okay.
Not incredibly good at deception, if I recall. Oh, but that's a decent roll. It's a decent roll. All right, let me pull up Elysia. Elysia, where? There you are.
I keep forgetting that Zinni has a high charisma stat until I'm looking at anything that involves charisma.
Yeah.
So, like, her intimidation stat, which is hilarious because she's so small.
Okay.
The tiny bean. She bite. She bite.
Her deception is +1, so for a total of 15. Alright, so I'm gonna have everyone make a stealth roll at the advantage because of the illusion.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
My stealth is probably shit. Yeah, I mean, it's a +0.
Same.
But you're at the advantage, luckily, so that's good.
Alright. Oh.
only
So I
rolled
need one
once.
more. So that was an 11, and this is an 8, so 11.
11, okay.
Not particularly stealthy.
This is a group roll, so it just takes a certain amount of you to hit the DC.
Cool.
Let's see. A 17.
17, okay. Okay, one successful roll.
That's a 17 as well.
Alright, that's 2 successful rolls. I guess that means it is up to Elysia, who has a -2 to stealth.
Elfie is a big girl.
She is big.
Please.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So as you're in the hole, the hole isn't quite like big enough, and Elysia is like hunching. It is basically hunching to stay underneath the illusion, and looking through the shimmering surface that you can see past, but no one can see through. You actually.
Loki, yes, channel points can affect the game.
Yes, they can. Absolutely.
So if someone has 1,000, well, if a viewer, not a player, has 1,000 they want to toss to Alyusia, they could give her a critical success.
That is true. So as you're kind of looking through the illusion, basically it's shimmering through, so you can see through it, but they can't. But the other side cannot see through at you. You actually see what looks like this hunched over, dog-like creature. Not a gnoll, but it's a very.
I was gonna say.
It's very hunched over, and it's got a long and elongated snout, and very pointy ears, and it's looking around, and it looks very spindly and like it hasn't eaten in a while. And you hear it kind of look up and chirps in another direction, and then another one comes over, and they begin sniffing the air.
I don't like it.
What do you guys do?
Well, I mean, it's not like we can sneak past the motherfuckers. Our options are.
Wait.
Considering Lenny probably would have done this at an angle, just so it's easier to get in and out of. Can we see them and past them?
See them and pass them?
No, see them and what's past them.
Yeah. I'll say you can see decently past them. You have a little bit of a blind spot because of how deep the pit is, but you can see a couple of them.
Couple of them. Huh.
Can I use my bird?
Sure.
Can my bird go and like squawk at them angrily in the air?
It will have to breach the illusion, which will give them all a chance to save against the illusion. But yes, you can. Up to you.
Fuck.
Hold on, I'm trying to look at the about 10 feet away from the edge of the illusion, which is the maximum apparently this can reach. I am going to use Earth Tremor and cause it to start shaking.
Okay.
Mimicking what the Onkegs did.
This is the second time in a different game that you have mimicked an Onkeg.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that is.
So, what's the spell that you're using?
Earth Tremor.
Earth Tremor. What level spell is that?
1.
And what is your goal here?
Primarily to deceive them into thinking that there is a predator in the area.
Okay. I will give you a deception check at the advantage because of how you're doing it.
Good, because I have a -2.
Not bad. So 13?
Yes.
So what we're saying is
General
I
for the
need to
group?
learn I need to learn some illusion spells.
No.
because- No? Why?
No, I'm knowing because they rolled a nat 20.
So
No.
as you basically focus forward and do the earth tremor, you basically see them kind of like they panic for a moment, and then you see another one like slap it across the face, and then sniffs and looks in your area and points.
Okay,
It's
well,
gonna
if
be
they
it's
were-
gonna be initiative. You can roll damage for earth tremor if you'd like.
Well, they have to make a dexterity saving throw against.
Okay. So
Man.
I'm upset I'm out of second level spell slots.
Me too.
oof.
Yeah, we used them against the Onkegs because we didn't decide to take a long rest afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are what, level 3?
Yep.
Yep.
3 at level 3. And 1 at level 2.
Did you say that we had the advantage on initiative, or am I just like I think I just
No.
hallucinated? Okay. For some reason, my brain was just like, "The fuck are we doing?"
Okay, so we're going to. This will be your little pit that you're at. So go ahead and put your minis here.
Where's my baby?
Wow, we all rolled shit.
Also, if
Where am
somebody
Oh,
wants
here I
to make a nature check to identify what these things are, you may do so.
Sure, I have advantage in nature thing.
Do you?
Well, I have a +4 in nature.
Oh,
so-
okay. Not advantage, but you've got a +4. That's good.
Yeah.
Yes, Loki, you can also botch the enemy.
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
However, it's a bit late for that.
Okay.
It's decided it
There's a
doesn't
thing
like
floating
me.
right here.
So they need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. Hang on just a second. Because basically it's going to be a surprise round for you. So hold on just a moment. And let me set these guys up. So who rolled was it a 16 to figure out what these things were?
Yes.
That was you?
Yes.
So you do remember hearing about these creatures that kind of dwell in the desert. They are called jackal wares. They're not like werewolves. They don't have lycanthropy. They're just humanoid, slightly more intelligent than humans, jackals that roam in groups.
Slightly more intelligent than humans?
I'm sorry, slightly less intelligent than humans.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
that would be concerning.
Okay.
And you
That's not
guys,
bad.
just to let you know that you are in a, hang on just a second.
From that check, would
You're
I
in a
know what
10-foot pit.
would I know what like naturally they're weak against? Like, probably not fire because they live in a desert.
What did you get?
A 16.
A 16. You know that they have an ability called pack tactics. They're good at hearing and smell. Obviously they sniffed you guys out, but they are very adept at teaming up on people, finding a flanking position, and taking advantage of your openings.
Hate it.
Lovely.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's change the music to some better music. You sound so happy. And here we go. Okay, so it is everyone roll initiative, and then we'll go through the surprise round.
I already rolled initiative.
What'd you get?
5.
Oof.
6.
Yeah! That is a 21.
21.
I
Okay.
just rolled a nat 20.
Very nice. So it's a 31.
Oh, right.
You can. Jeez.
You get a +10 if you roll a natural 20.
Wow.
That means I probably go first.
Okay. So Zinni is up first. Visca, what did you get?
I got a 6.
You got a 6. Lenny got a 5. Lenny got
Where am
a
I?
5. The Jackal's got a 16, and Eliusia got a 10. All right. So that means Zinni, it is your turn. It is effectively a surprise round. The Earth Tremor is just starting.
Okay. What do you do? How close are they?
They are roughly 3 inches, so 15 feet. But you are also 10 feet down.
Yep. Boop-a-doo-boo-ba-doo-boo. And how many are there? 4?
There are 4 in total.
You know what? Why not? I'm gonna light one of them on fire.
All right, excellent. What spell do you use?
It's create bonfire.
Create bonfire on them. Okay.
Yep.
It will not spread because desert.
Yep.
But yeah, well, which one do you want to burn and ate?
I mean, I'm right here.
Yep.
And this one's right here. So.
All right, I will turn him red because he is now on fire. Go ahead. Is that a save or is it an active roll from you?
Any creature within the bonfire space when you cast a spell must succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Do they take half if they fail? If they succeed, I mean? Or do they just leap out of the way? Doesn't matter, it rolled a 10.
It says or, so or take fire damage.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a D8.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
8.
Not bad. 6.
Yep, not bad.
Not bad. We'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, as you focus and basically kind of pop your head out, you're sort of hanging from the top, and like just your eyes are peeking over the pit, and you look at the one closing in who just kind of peeks up and goes, "Arr!" And then you cast the bonfire underneath them, and you hear him like as he begins to immolate on fire. He has taken a substantial amount of damage from that. Okay, it is now the Jackalware's turn. They are surprised, so they cannot do anything. Unless, do they have alert? No, they don't.
Yeah.
That's good. They do not. Let's see. Eliusia will cast Ray of Sickness on the one over here. Let's see. That is a... It is make a ranged spell attack. Okay. You need player names. So Kaz is Lunny. Tia is, or Dolphy, whatever you want to call her, is Zinni, and Sig is Visca. And I'm everyone else.
Everyone else.
Okay, I didn't see what I rolled, so let me just roll it again. All right, yeah, that definitely hits. All right, so that's going to be 2d8. Oh, it's a saving throw. Wait. On a hit, okay, so it takes 2d8 points of poison damage, and then has to make a Constitution saving throw. So it takes 12. It doesn't matter. So you see Eliusia like just rises up and her stature as the Loxodon like looks at it, looks at the creature, and the Jackalware looks at it and kind of cringes, like, what the hell is this thing? And you see Eliusia just go, Nirachsmo Oratenga, and then this blackened energy shoots out from her fingers and engulfs this Jackalware. You see it just starts writhing in pain as its fur just begins to fall off of it. It becomes emaciated and it is almost drying out in front of you as it's just turning to dust before your eyes and falls into a pile of ash.
Oh.
That one's dead.
Really?
Very dead. As on a failed save, it is also poisoned. So let me just... Technically, it's at 0 HP, but we don't do saving throws for... Yeah, it's fucked.
For the fairies.
It's not doing good. Alright, that was Eliusia's turn. It is now Visca's turn.
Whoa, I would like to use Witch Bolt.
Witch Bolt on which one? On which one? Okay. Is that a saving throw?
I don't think it is. Let me see. Let's see. A crackling. No,
You
I
have to
believe
make
I
a
have.
ranged spell attack.
Yeah. As I try to remember how to play D&D.
Button.
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 Fuck it, I'm using inspiration.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Aww.
Fuck!
I mean, that first one's still a 10.
First one is a 10. Fortunately, that does not hit. So that was, what spell was that? That was
Witch Bolt.
Witch bolt.
Witch Bolt. So as you basically rise up, you have that conjuring arc of electricity from your hands, and you blast it forward. But unfortunately, it just seems really quick and jumps out of the way, and the Witch Bolt ends up blasting into the column behind it. All right. So that is.
Does
that
this do
is your
collateral
turn.
damage? What direction is that falling?
Lunny, they're still surprised. Your Earth Tremor now goes off. Would they have to make dexterity saving throws?
Yeah,
What's
it's a 10-foot range, so only one of them would get hit by it.
So which one?
We'll go with this one.
Go with that one? Okay.
Because it's the closest one to Lenny. It's the
And what save is it?
they would have to make a 13.
A 13 on what save?
Dex.
On Dex, they beat it by 1. As you see, basically, he quickly jumps out of the way, out of the radius, and basically over to here. As the earth below begins to tremble back and forth, and they all immediately look in your direction and snarl. They look at the one that's dead and the one that's on fire. I'm gonna have them make a quick willpower saving throw. So I'm gonna have whoever has the best intimidation roll at the advantage.
Probably Zinni.
me.
Would that be you?
Probably me.
What do you have in intimidation?
I get a +3.
I think you do have the highest one. Because
Yep.
usually only got a +1. Alright, go ahead and roll at the advantage.
I've got a -2.
I have a 16. I have a 16 in my charisma. So
23?
Okay, so 23.
Not 23. Not 23.
20.
20.
Just 20.
20, alright. They all fail. They are all now officially frightened. They have the frightened state. Which, just to go over what that is. Frightened. Disadvantage on ability checks and attack roll while the source of the fear is still within sight. Cannot willingly move towards the source of the fear. They're afraid of Zinni.
You're afraid of the tiny.
Okay, so so next round it is Zinni's turn. You see them all just kind of like coiling back, and it looks like they're trying to decide on what they're gonna do next.
I'm trying to remember if it's on my turn or their turn that they have to.
I think it's
the one
their
that's in the
turn.
fire. Let me just double check. Of course.
Like if you're still in the fire by the end of the turn. I think that's how it goes.
If it ends its turn there. Okay.
Zinni has been gifted a crit.
Oh, Zinni, you were just given a crit.
Oh.
Divine irony. Divirony?
Let's see.
Jesus.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Now it's like, what do I use it on?
Yeah. Well, because my first level spells actually aren't very combat oriented,
Yep.
which I think I'm gonna have to change the next time we do a long rest.
Mhm.
And my only non-concentration one, because I want to keep that bonfire going,
Yep.
one is a touch and the other one is close range within 5 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, you can move.
Yep.
What? Bonus action? Movement action?
Movement action.
Yeah, you
It-
could.
it
It would
will-
be
and it-
10 feet to get out of the pit, and then 15 feet to get to them if you wanted to get in melee. Keep in mind they cannot approach you right now. So that means
so-
if you try to get out and get towards them, they have to run away.
and they would do that on their turn, though, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so if I take the 10 feet to get out.
Yep.
Oh, it's frozen. Is it gonna kick me out? Please say no.
Oh no.
I think.
no.
Yeah.
Oh no. You're stuck in the air. Yeah, you're about to get
Yeah.
booted.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I don't see you online anymore. Technical difficulties.
watch the
Yeah.
goat video.
The goat video.
No. Connect. Of
Perfect.
course, it's because I tried moving my own character.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that, and I'm sorry. How far is this one from me?
You've got this
I
one
can't-
is 2.5, so you could get there with 15 feet of movement. How much movement do you have left?
15.
Oh, there you go. If you
What
wanted,
about what about?
I
this
think
one
he's
over
about
here?
the same. He is an extra 5 feet away. Hey,
Okay.
hang on. No, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
No, it was doing the little blue connecting thing to me
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
Your ping is really high.
which is obnoxious. Okay, so. My problem is I don't want to be in the fire,
Right. Well, it's only 5
but I
feet,
can
right?
also. And I. What?
The fire is only 5 feet, right? Or is it 10?
It's 5.
Yeah.
But if it is inside the fire,
Right.
would I not also? Yeah.
Well, if you are like, for instance, right here,
Yeah.
it's not gonna hit you because it is completely in the
Okay.
fire. It doesn't bleed over, luckily.
Mm. Okay, so I'm gonna move over, like, in front of it. Or maybe have you move me over in front
Sure.
of it.
Hang on just a second. Just updating something real quick.
Uh-huh.
There we go. So you're moving up into melee with it?
Yep.
Okay. And what are you doing?
And then I'm gonna cast Sword Burst, and it has to do a dexterity saving throw.
Sword burst. That
Wow.
improves your weapon, right?
No,
Or-
that
No.
is you create a momentary circle of spectral blades that sweep around you. All other creatures within 5 feet of you must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 force damage.
Nice. Dexterity saving throw. Okay.
And at the cantrip.
While it's on,
It
While it's on
gets
fire.
a 16. Is that enough to beat your dexterity saving throw? Your spell save?
yeah, it is.
Does it take any
Yay.
damage?
Does not look like it.
All right, so yeah, you basically conjure up that burst of blades around you as you see it just jump back, still on fire, mind you, and it does not look very happy.
Well, I mean, it's scared of me, so.
All right, it is now the Jackalware's turn. So let's see if they remain frightened.
Isn't that at the end of their turn?
Oh, you're right. It is at the end of their turn. Well, I'll keep these rolls anyways. So these two snap out of it. This one, however, is going to use the disengage action and get the fuck out of there.
If he doesn't burn to death first.
So let's see. That would be, what is their movement? Their movement is 40 feet. So that'd be that'd be 20. That'd be like 8 inches, right? 8 times 5 is 40. Yep. So disengage, and then it's
Oh, Finny could have remembered to use the crit. Or was it a saving throw?
It was a saving throw.
It was a saving
So
throw.
yeah, the crit was given to Ziddy, not the botch to the Jackaware.
Right.
That's okay. You still got a critical hit in your pocket. All right. So
I just need to remember that.
okay, and these two will also disengage. They're gonna try to get the hell out of there because they're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 inches and 8 inches. Okay, they're basically scattering. All right, that makes it Eliusia's turn. Let's see. Eliusia will. What will Eliusia do? Eliusia.
Go wear a fur coat.
Eliusia's just gonna use Chill Touch against the one that is running over here. And unfortunately, you see this spectral icy hand come out from hers as it blasts forward and goes right over the Jackaware as it runs away. Unfortunately, not connecting, and that means it is Visca's turn.
I'm using magic missile. Level
Magic
1.
missile on which one?
This motherfucker.
Okay.
Oh wait.
All right.
There we go.
Deal damage because magic missile always hits.
I never remember what.
Because they're different damage. Okay, I need how many? Is it 3 or is it 4 darts? I can't remember. Let's
Magic
see.
missile, I believe, is
3.
3.
Yep.
At first level, it's... Yeah.
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 So 3 die 4 plus 3, because it's plus 1 for every missile. So if you're putting them all on that one, it's 3 die 4 plus 3.
Yup.
Okay, so that would be 12 damage. So basically, you see this one flying away, and you just reach up with your hand and blast forward those missiles. 2 of them go on either side, basically curving, as the other one goes straight forward. All 3 of them impact at the same time, and there is a puff of just like of sand in the air from the disturbance of the force of these magic missiles. And by the time that the sand dissipates, there is no more Jackaware.
All I
You
can
almost
imagine
called it a
is
jackalope.
I almost called it a
Yeah.
jackalope, yeah.
all I can imagine is Visca popping her head out and just flipping it off and just magic missiles.
Pew!
It's like,
Excellent.
take this motherfucker.
All right, and let's see. That means it is Lunny's turn.
Lenny's going to hurl a Chromatic Orb at this one.
Okay, and that's a ranged spell attack.
I don't know. Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
My mouth.
Oh, I was reading its HP and armor class backwards. Whoops.
14.
14 hits.
Okay.
Chromatic Orb, what element are you using?
Lightning.
So 18 plus anything else?
Nope.
Alright, so basically you shape this ball of electricity and blast it forwards, and it's arcing out, making tiny little deposits of fulgurite in the sand as it travels forward. and then it blasts into this one, and you see it basically just it's grounded to the ground and like shoots its arms out to the ground. The electricity begins blasting from its fingers tips as you can kind of see its skeleton for a moment, and then when the effect finally stops, it's just this burnt, charred remains of the jack-o'-lantern as it falls to the ground.
Okay, dokie.
You guys are making quick work of these guys. Zinni, it is your turn.
Okay. I mean, that one's running away, right?
Yeah, he's no longer on fire.
Oh, that's right. It's stationary.
Mm-hmm.
What is the sensation of suddenly being no longer on fire?
Let's set it back on fire.
Yeah, you do have a crit as well. You have a crit.
Oh, this one, it's a dex for them.
So would you
Because
rather do
they-
something that they have to roll or something that you have to roll?
I don't really have anything that I have to roll.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is like,
Okay.
I don't have anything.
So
for
you're
me
gonna use
to roll.
bonfire on it again?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you the bonfire in front of you dissipates, and it like almost travels through the ground, and then releases a torrent of fire underneath it again. Okay, so it's gonna have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
It succeeds.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so it's going to continue to run if it is its turn, which it is. Disengage 40. Oops. 40 feet. Well, it doesn't have to disengage. So 40 feet. Now it's going to be entering difficult terrain, so it's going to use the dash action and can only go 4 inches this time. But yeah, it's making quick work. As you see it basically just running away. It gets on all fours as it begins going up the sand dunes, and it is getting further and further away from you guys. Making
I'm okay with letting it run away.
Elysia's turn. Elysia looks like she's about to blast it with the spell, and then just kind of feels bad and doesn't do it. She's lawful good, so she's not gonna let it. Yeah, she's not gonna kill it with its back turned. So that is Elysia's turn, and Visca, it is your turn.
You guys are still in the hole.
The best part of
Nah, I'm
waking up
good.
is Fulgurite in my cup. Thank you,
I'm
love.
good.
You're good? Are you just gonna
I'm
hold
just
your
gonna
action?
pass.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so it is now Lunny's turn.
Lunny is almost entirely out of spells, so they are going to hold off.
Okay. So it is going to flee if you all allow it to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it leaves. It disappears into the dunes, to the west. The 4 of you are left alone, fairly unscratched from that encounter. And what do you guys do? Are you guys going to investigate the bodies or anything? Hello, Devil's Magic. Welcome. Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Lenny's going to work on making us a more secure shelter.
Okay.
Something that's not just a pit in the ground.
Sure. So you're going to make like a sand house and shape it into like sandstone effectively?
Effectively, yeah.
Sure. All right. So it's going to take you a decent amount to do that. Go ahead and make a survival check. This is at the advantage because you're in the desert and you have wrote that. You have read that book.
Are
Not
you
very
fucking
good.
kidding me?
So you're just about to get it to the place you want. You spend a good hour shaping it, and then like right at the last moment, you swear you heard something behind you, and you turn to look. It disrupts your concentration, and the entire house falls down, and you'll have to start from scratch. Ooh,
Okay.
well, that's
Well,
rough.
that's assuming people want to stay here another hour.
That is a good question. Do we stay here or do we continue on? I must say my spell reservoir is rather low.
Mine too.
But one got away, and if they are pack creatures, then they will most likely return. Probably in larger numbers.
We probably shouldn't stay here. We were able to get our water. So
Agreed.
maybe we should continue on? Find a different spot?
That might be for the best.
I want to agree.
So let's keep going then.
Alright, the four of you basically leave this area behind you. Did you loot the bodies before you left?
Yes.
Okay, so investigation check.
Okay.
And yes, Devil's Magic, the party does need a rest. Badly.
Fuck. That's okay.
You only find one bag with about 8 copper.
Sure.
They wear clothes?
They have loincloths, yeah.
No, thank
Okay. I got 8 copper, guys.
8 copper.
Cool.
Alright, so you guys continue
8 whole copper.
trudging north by northeast. Someone want to roll the weather? The weather?
The wizard?
The wizard. So just one die
that
12.
Oh. I rolled the wrong dice then. We'll just go with that. 11.
11, okay. So 11, you continue on. The heat has subsided as the sun kind of disappears between a mesa that you see in the distance. It is not where you're headed though, so you continue heading north by northeast. In the distance, you can see what looks like kind of the heat displacement from the brutal heat that's ahead of you. But you continue trekking along, and I'm gonna have you guys make a perception check.
Oh boy, because we know that we're all good at those.
you.
Remember, you still have that crit in your pocket.
I do.
I get a
See how this
19.
goes.
A 19? Okay.
Oh, I mean, perception. I think I get a +1 to that, so 15. It's not
15?
bad.
Okay.
It's
16.
not low enough for me to take my crit yet.
In the distance, it looks like something. You know how when someone like takes a mirror and begins like reflecting the sun at you, you get that sort of. It looks like someone is maybe looking at you through a spyglass or something. In the distance, you see a twinkle of light reflecting the sun at you.
Swear to God, if that's a beer, I'm going to fucking drown him in sand.
What do you guys do?
How far is it?
It is in the direction that you're headed, and by the looks of it, it's probably a good 5 miles away.
So probably not something we'll reach anytime soon.
It seems stationary.
Interesting.
How long would it take to send Holt that way?
5 miles? For an owl? Probably 15 minutes.
Okay,
Sure.
we'll keep walking while Holt goes and scouts it out.
Okay, are you sharing senses?
Somebody hold my hand.
Eliusha will grab a hold of your hand and guide you with her other hand on your back, and basically guiding you forward as you continue walking. And your eyes flash that yellowish color as your uh, your soul effectively is your senses are transferred to your owls, who is soaring through the desert, and basically closer and closer to this object as the intensity of the light reflection is almost blinding to you because of the improved senses of the owl. However, you get past that point and you swoop down, and you see it looks like it is a rust covered man of some sort, like a mannequin or something.
A rust covered
Rust
mannequin.
covered metal automaton. It
Does
is
Lenny
just
have
standing
siblings?
there. It's like a statue. You see some filigree and whatnot. Like, you know, it's been there a long time.
Does it look kind of like Lunny?
I mean, not as sophisticated as Lenny, not as detailed. But yeah, sure.
Fortune General don't.
Visca's
I
gonna
don't
just
think-
still being like staring at it through Holtzby, like, I think we just found Lunny prototype. Proto Lunny.
Yeah, so you can hear Visca say this to you. However, Visca will not be able to hear you back if you respond. Unless you break the senses with your owl.
I'll do a little bit more scouting. Is there anything
Sure.
else around, or is it just that?
Yes, so as you swoop in and circle around, you actually see another body at the base of the guardian. I'll call it guardian for the sake of ease. And it is burnt to a crisp.
And a body. Okay. I will cut the senses.
Okay, so you cut your senses and you return to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
What'd you do?
I loaded
do?
a map that I should not have loaded.
It's going to kill you guys.
It is going to kill you guys.
Oh no. Well, at least it's not Abby Dabby Babby Man.
Oh my god, is it loading the college?
No.
No, it's
No.
loading literally the library of
single model.
minis.
Ooh, that is a
Oh,
really
oh.
cool Tiamat fucking minion. Like,
In-
that thing is huge. Look at it. Oh, okay.
Oh, hello.
I read the Kraken table loading as the Karen table.
The carrot table. I love it.
The Karen table.
I'm at like 200
Why is it
out of
1,883
I know.
assets?
I know. I'm sorry.
You fucked up. You fucked
I
up.
fucked up.
Tia's ping.
Okay.
All of
Tia's
your
ping.
921. 999.
Well, you guys, I was gonna say, you guys are in like the 900s, so it's not just mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Table full of miniatures that would like to speak to the manager.
Yeah, sounds accurate.
That would be me, wouldn't it?
It is the Karen.
Yes.
It is the Karen table.
It is now the Karen table.
Oh no, it's gonna load the town, isn't it?
It might.
Yeah, I think it is. I think there's a lot of stuff.
You
Oops.
fucked up.
I fucked up.
You did.
You fucked up.
You really did.
La da 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 da. Riveting entertainment. That's okay. Well, while this loads, so you return your senses to your body, and do you guys continue on that path, or you want to roleplay a little bit of what you found?
I would tell them what I found.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought right there. We're good.
We're good. Okay.
Didn't We established that we would possibly make a side trip to that location with Lenny when we got the map, so.
Yep.
But did we discuss what exactly we were looking for in that side location?
I don't know. What did you guys discuss?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
You can't ask me to remember these things.
This is why you should take notes.
We were asked to find a shield guardian by the name of Vorn.
Okay. I think we just I think we just found that shield guardian thing, dude.
Dude.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah.
Alright, let's try to actually import this again. Search, not load.
Are you sure?
There we go. Okay, so you guys continue in that direction?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
Lenny would not see an issue with it.
Alright, let me choose a random dead dude. Random dead dude.
Number 823.
Yeah, random dead dude. There we go.
Probably. It's like an accurate number.
There we go. Random dead dude.
Well, it was what number my loading thing was at, so.
Up there.
Okay, so the four of you continue towards this direction, and sure enough, you see the sand up to probably about its knees at this point, just covered with recent sand from the blowing winds. The body is about half covered as well. Basically, it's like reaching up and clutching, clutching a rock that it's trying to basically boost itself back up to attack this thing. You see several impact points on the Shield Guardian's chest, with like where it was impacted with. You know what? Make an Arcana. You already know what it does, so just an intelligence check, a wisdom check. Wisdom check.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Sure.
Wisdom, and this will be Alistair doing the check. Just a basic wisdom.
Okay. Basic wisdom is, well, it's 6. Fuck.
Yeah, it looks like it was in a battle. Maybe some stuff exploded against his chest.
Are we all doing?
It was mainly for, well, actually, you guys both heard about it. So yeah, I'll give you, all the wisdom check as well. Yes, Double Magic. The TTS is the best $20 ever spent.
Got a 12.
12. A relatively low DC. Dolphy, did you want to roll as well?
I had a whole 9.
Okay, so the DC was 10. So with the 12, you kind of realize things are adding up, and the impact spots are probably remains of the dusts of corrosion. What do you guys do?
Well, we're not near it yet, are we?
I'm gonna say
Or,
you guys are up to it now.
Can I do an investigation check to see if it's, like, functional in any way?
Sure, go ahead and make an investigation check.
I can't math! Hold on! 23.
23? Okay. 23, you do see, it looks like some of its inner gears and inner workings are currently either not connected correctly, or they're too damaged for it to function. With enough time, it could probably be repaired.
The hell was that?
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Okay. How difficult would it be to lift this thing?
He looks heavy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mind you, I have a -2 to strength.
It
I can't lift it.
Mhm.
is very big. Very heavy.
Okay, so we found it. We weren't really specified if we had to bring back the entire thing, were we? Does it have a core component of some sort that I would be able to identify? That would
Make a raw intelligence check at the disadvantage.
be balls. I have a +4 to intelligence, which is nice.
As it is just so alien to you. You don't have any of
That
the
one
tinkerers
dice
with you,
does not. There we go.
except for Lundy.
Hold on, I have to math because I can't math. Or 12.
12? So with 12, you... hang on just a second. With the 12, you're... it's just too alien to you. Yeah, you can't really grasp anything of how it actually works. Like, you could probably repair the cogs if you took enough time with it, but the actual how it connects and how it actually moves, you have no idea.
This guy's gonna look at Lunny, and then look back at the Guardian, and then look back at Lunny,
Elysia
Guardian.
also will look at Lunny. Is there anything
and
you
then
can
look
do?
back at Lunny.
I will
So can
need
we
time.
Can we stuff it in the bag of holding?
It's too big.
Damn it.
You
Bag of
could
holding
break
can
it
only
down
hold
in
so much weight.
pieces and do it that way, but don't do that.
Perhaps we should take shelter here for the evening, and I will take time to repair it.
Okay.
Okay.
Since I have the most spell slots, I will probably do first watch.
Okay, so you're going to basically initiate a long rest?
Yep.
Okay.
And Lenny's
Yeah.
going to spend a great deal of that casting Mending on the Shield Guardian.
Okay, so if you're casting Mending, that is an effort, so you will not be able to get the
I know.
long rest if you do that. Okay.
I know.
Okay, so you're gonna start casting Mending. Let's see. I will give you a Tinker's Tools check as well at the advantage because this seems familiar to you.
I am proficient.
Long rest, long rest.
Press that button.
Is there a particular stat I add to that, or?
It would be your proficiency modifier with your Tinker Tools. Your Tinker Tools gives you the proficiency modifier.
Right. I was asking if there's anything other than the proficiency bonus that I add.
Your dexterity modifier.
Oh, come on. look
So
at how-
14.
14.
Or no, 16. I'm sorry. Plus my proficiency bonus, which is 2, minus my dexterity of -1.
Okay, so you are all basically sitting around resting while Lunny is basically working on this. And a few hours go by. The sun is just about to set when you hear a calibrating voice modular. Voice modulated. Greetings. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Looks at Lunny.
What is your designation?
The designation before you is Vorn.
We have found Vorn.
Cool.
Inquiry.
Does
it-
Do you wish to exterminate me?
No.
No?
Follow-up inquiry. Why does everyone else want to?
I don't know.
Good question.
It seems satisfied by your response. You think it is emotionless and just staring forward. Designation Vorn. Awaiting commands.
We could have him keep watch while we rest.
Sounds good to me.
Designation Vorn. Awaiting commands.
How do you give it commands? Like, what's the coding for that?
Vorn,
Yes.
the four of us need to rest. You will patrol the immediate area for the next 8 hours and take care of any threats.
Error, 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 error. Admin privileges are not set. Searching parameters.
Oh no.
It begins looking left and right. It would seem my previous admin is no longer available. Please register new admin.
Lonnie is conflicted.
Zinni, you want to be the admin?
Zinni's gonna look up at Lenny.
We're all looking at Luddy at this point.
Well, I mean, I will if we want, but I don't know.
Vorn,
It seems...
is it possible to register multiple admins?
Searching. Searching. Yes, it is possible to register multiple admins provided they have the mark of Dr. Kinestein.
Who?
Dr. Kinestein created us.
Correct. Inquiry. Does this imply that you were made by Dr. Kinestein as well?
I was.
Interesting. Inquiry. Would this make us siblings?
Technically.
Inquiry. Are you male or female in your designation? Or somewhere else in the spectrum?
Neither.
Either. Inquiry. What are your pronouns?
They.
Inquiry accepted. Hello, sibling. How are you?
I am tired. And would like to rest.
Understood. However, I still do not have an admin registered.
What's the mark of that thing you mean?
Would I know what he means by the mark
The
of...
mark of Kinestein, he, yes, you would know, that he puts his symbol, on all of his projects, and, he has, like, a brand that all of his, underlings would have.
He would.
Ah, so he copyrights everyone.
Yeah.
Yep. Register admin Lunny.
Please present Mark of Kinestein.
Is it in an easily revealed location?
Wherever you want it to be.
So Lunny will Now I'm looking at Lunny trying to figure out where it would be.
On the boob. Put it on the titty.
Lenny is... Okay. So this is probably going to be a little disturbing for folks, but Lenny is going to detach their faceplate and show it to Vorn and the symbols on the inside.
Okay, so basically you take your faceplate and you detach it, and immediately you take it off, and everyone who's looking can see like little tiny whirling gears and different tubings with this fluid circulating through, little pieces of wood and actual life as well. It's like a mixture of science and nature that you're looking at, and it's a little disturbing without the faceplate on. But you see this on one of the cheeks is this symbol that basically looks like a cog with a K inside of it, and then you see the Vorn turns and looks at it. Looks at the symbol. A beam of bluish energy scans down and then scans up and then does so horizontally as well, and goes processing information. Luddy, congratulations! You are now registered as a proper user for designation board. Shall I execute your previous request?
Yes, please.
Executing patrol. He turns. You see him
And Lenny's
stop for a
going to-
moment, and then he's like having trouble with one of his legs, and you hear, and then he continues on.
Lenny will put their face back on.
That was not the titty.
Appreciated.
Okay, it begins patrolling. What do you guys do?
Set up camp for the night, I guess.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make a survival check. Whoever wants to lead that.
Do I still have advantage?
Yes, you do. Until you go to sleep, unless you read it for another hour.
And
10?
yay.
Yeah, you make a basic, like a lean-to, and you're able to get.
We have tents. So.
Oh yeah, you guys have tents. You're fine. The weather seems to be cooperating, so it's not too bad. It'll do for the night.
And Lenny will take an hour to read that book again, and then sleep.
Okay. What do you guys do? Do you just sleep, all of you? Just have
I'm
a
just
night?
gonna zonk the funk out.
Zonk the fuck out? All right.
We've had a very long day, and I think we're all like
Sounds
out
good.
of spell slots.
Everyone make a perception check at the disadvantage, because you are sleeping.
Oh man, not again.
But what if I decide to use my critical success right now?
You
I
could.
mean-
You could use it. It will basically bypass the disadvantage, and you'll just succeed.
Okay.
That's what you want to do? You want to cash in the critical hit?
Well, I mean, if we're about to be caught unawares,
Up to you, because you don't know what that means. I could just be messing with you guys, too.
that's true.
So, do you want to use your critical hit on this perception check?
I mean, there's not a
Fuck
whole lot
you.
else you're going to use it on.
Fuck you!
You don't
Yeah.
actually hit things.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I don't. I make them dodge. So, yeah, I think I'm going to. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm going to forget that I have it.
Okay, so around 3 in the morning, it is very cold, but luckily the fire that you have going is enough to, keep you from freezing. You hear outside, and you quickly kind of just perk up and look, and you see, it looks like Vorn is beginning to walk over to Luddy's tent and goes inside.
And of
What-
course, I'm a nosy bitch.
What do you do?
Sneaky, sneaky. Except not sneaky, sneaky. I'm not gonna say that I'm sneaking.
Okay.
I'm I'm going to you know what, I'm just gonna peek my head in, see what I see.
Okay. So, question, Lunny, have we established that you don't need sleep, or that you like basically like trance out like elves do?
I do not need sleep. I am aware, but I'm not moving.
Okay, so basically, you are resting at this point, just kind of sitting underneath the cover of the tent, and you see Vorn like slouch down, like he's practically crouching at this point, and he comes over to you, and he begins to reach forward. Zinni, you see this as you're peeking in the tent.
How long have we been resting?
You have been resting at this point for about 5 hours.
1 more hour, damn you. Lunny will very slowly turn their head to him.
You see him, he doesn't stop at you looking at him, and you see his hand actually like open up and splits into two as you see an attachment come out, and it is like a little point on it, and then he's about to reach forward with this pin against that is basically coming out of the top of where his wrist would connect, and he's slowly reaching forward to you.
Would I know what this is meant for?
Make an intelligence check. Or an intelligence check.
Do I have inspiration?
Yeah, if you have inspiration, it's not a bad time to use it.
I don't remember an inspiration. I don't have it marked on my sheet.
Well, it's the beginning of the campaign, so if you haven't used it yet, then yes, you do. The beginning of the session. You get it at the beginning of the session, so.
19.
That's a lot better.
So 22.
You know that this is an interfacing device with other automatons. He's going to attempt to basically download your data.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we were both made by Kenestein. I mean, he's not going to upload anything. We're fine.
Zinni, you have no idea what this automaton is doing. Luddy doesn't seem to be moving, however, is looking at what's going on. But you see basically the spike going closer and closer. It's not like a punch or anything, it's more like he's delicately placing it.
But also, like, Zinni's very aware that Lunny is awake.
Right.
So, and it's not like she's a dum-dum. So, she's probably assuming that if Lunny isn't, like, trying to stop him, or then it's probably fine.
Sure.
She is gonna just kind of keep watching.
Okay. So you see the spike, basically, he turns his hand around, and it looks like there's a slot at the base of Lunny's neck that you never really noticed before, and the needle pokes into it and interfaces with basically interlocks, and you hear a chink as it locks into place, and you hear downloading begin. Downloading. Downloading.
Oh my god.
Downloading.
Like downloading over dial-up.
Error. Shutting down. And you see it just kind of lose power.
What happened?
Its interface is still in your neck.
Lenny will reach up and very gently try to pull it out.
You turn it to unlock it and pull it out.
I do not know.
What do you do? It is now standing inert, or sitting inert in front of you.
I'm gonna examine it, see if it's a power failure or something that I can, like, fix.
Go ahead and make a Tinker Tools check.
$17.
17. Yeah, it looks like it was basically an overload. Something misfired, and you could reboot it with your with a voice command, since you're an admin.
Okay, after making sure there's not, like, any actual damage to any of the wires and whatnot, Lenny will, Vorn, start processes.
You see its eyes open up with a blue glow around the eyes, and it program started. Please explain the reason for my last failure.
Incompatible data.
Compiling diagnosis. Interesting. It seems I am missing a vital component to your blueprints to successfully download your data. What are you?
I am a creation of Dr. Steen.
As am I. However, inquiry. It would seem that you are different. You are not just a machine. Please specify.
I do not know.
May I investigate you with my ocular implants this time?
If you insist.
Scanning. He begins doing the scan of your whole body.
Do I know Zinni's there?
Yeah.
I mean, I did ask what happened.
That's fair.
Biological components found. Interesting. What are the purposes?
I would assume to better allow me to emulate life.
Please clarify.
I am capable of making my own decisions.
Please clarify.
Giving Cass the hard decisions.
I do not require commands to function.
Interesting. I am interested in learning this capability. Please install at your earliest convenience.
I will check my knowledge base and see if it is possible.
Understood. Are there any other tasks that you would like me to perform?
No, just I would appreciate if you continued patrolling.
Unfortunately, my damage has been sustained that exposure to the environments of these deserts has caused malfunctions in some of my parameters, making it difficult for me to stay awake.
Then rest.
Shutting down.
Now, that was weird. Go back to sleep now.
Have a good night, Finny.
Okay, so
Thank you.
the four of you finish your long rest. Go ahead and hit that beautiful button.
Button.
Yay.
Yay, I have my
I got
spells
my-
back.
The beautiful
I got
spells.
my spells back. I got my spells back. And I
Okay,
switched up some of my level 1 spells.
excellent. You all awaken to the smell of food being cooked. Once picking your heads out the tent, you actually see Eliusia has started a fire and is cooking breakfast. Looks like there is some meat that she brought with her, and is frying it up for you guys.
You're the best.
Agreed.
That is most appreciated. It would seem that the meat is beginning to turn color, so I thought it appropriate to cook it up while it was still good.
Makes sense to me.
And she continues cooking it, divvies it up against between 3 people. Yeah, so you guys eat breakfast, you feel satiated. Um, uh, you make sure that you guys record the loss of water from yesterday. I think you guys already did that, but just to be sure.
We lost water,
And then you
we
refilled
filled
it.
them up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it is now the morning. You finished your breakfast. You finished your morning routines. You've gotten the majority of the sand out of places where they shouldn't be, and Zorn is still in Lunny's tent. What do you guys do? And there is still a burnt up, charred body by the 2 foot imprints of where Vorn was standing.
So, I just realized something.
Sure.
I completely forgot, like, what our mission in general was.
Find a dragon
the-
sword.
Right. Dragon Horde, thank you. Listen, we've had a lot happen, and I'm easily distracted.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. So Lenny's going to start packing up the tent, put them back in the bag of holding, and start Vorn back up.
Okay, so how do you start Vorn back up?
The voice command again. They'll try that.
Okay. Powering up. Power reserves at 45%. Will continue to increase as exposure to the sun continues. Efficiency at 72%.
Do you have Vorn, is there someplace you can go that is sheltered?
The only place of shelter would be someplace that is provided. Our mission failed in locating. Hang on, I gotta pull something up. Ah, shit.
Nice.
See, I'm not the only one unprepared.
It's okay. My original mission set to me by Dr. Kittistine himself was to locate Tol Ra. So far, my searches have been unsuccessful.
It's supposed to go right.
Can you elaborate on this mission?
To find Tol Ra, the mate of Yan Teeth. Located somewheres in the Seaban Dunes.
Yantif is the
wait.
dragon that was killed, right?
Yes, Yan Teeth the Usurper.
So that means that there's another dragon.
Correct.
What's the name of the town that we had teleported to?
Iarusan.
Yerusan.
Yep.
Vorn, are you aware of where Yerusan is?
Searching database. Iarusan, ancient city in the southern Seaban dunes. Yes, this is where our teleportation circle brought us originally. Is the teleportation circle still intact? I could report back to Kittestein with my findings.
I am not aware of a teleportation circle. There.
Inquiry, do you know of another?
I would like you to go back to Iryu-san and try to locate the teleportation circle and wait for us there.
Understood. And it begins walking in that direction.
Well, that explains how the other guys died.
It's another dragon. That means we get to meet a dragon!
If it doesn't try to eat you first.
Well, I mean, even if it tries to eat us, we still met it.
You were very enthusiastic about that.
I mean, have you ever met a dragon?
No, and I'm not sure I want to if it's going to eat us.
I don't know, I think it'd be cool.
We have conflicting opinions on this, but that's fine.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd rather not be eaten, but...
Someone roll me a die 4.
I'm
Okay.
concerned.
Okay.
4.
Now someone roll me
no.
another die 4.
Mm,
I'll do it.
mm.
3. 3 and 4.
Excuse me.
Wes.
Okay.
I would get very concerned.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
Did anyone check that body yet?
Nope.
No.
We might as well check that body.
Sure. Okay, so you begin searching it. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Boy. A 15.
15. You don't find any way of usable supplies. However, you do find, it looks like a side pouch with 4 pouches in it. One of them is empty. There is an empty pouch clutched in its hand like a death grip, and 3 others that are full of dust of corrosion. You have 3 more applications of dust of corrosion.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Does dust of corrosion only work on metal stuff?
Yes, it is only metal. Shall I speak with it?
Yeah. If you want.
Very well. She walks over to the body. She takes out her amulet, focuses on its magic. Dear son. And you see its body kind of begin to vibrate as it like uncovers itself. It's still like half in the sand, but its mouth like basically turns, and you hear a crunch as it turns its neck, and it looks at you. Half of its face is still buried in sand, and there's just enough that its mouth is able to speak. Yes. Hello, my friend. Do I have permission to speak with you? Yes. Very well. What would you like me to ask him?
Why was he out here?
What was your purpose for being in this location? I was traveling with my party. We were attacked, and then a man of metal appeared.
What were they tracking?
We were... Well, she relays the question. We were hunting down Yon Teeth after its death. We did not make it. And what is the last question?
Did anyone ask a question?
I don't really know. I don't really like talking to the dead people. I understand it's very useful, but it makes me a little uncomfy.
Fair.
I mean, what direction were they tracking in? If that makes sense.
Like, what direction were they tracking, looking for the...
Yes. Like, last they knew, which direction were they going?
She relays the question, and you hear it speak. We continued west from here. We were able to find a cave of some sort. But by the time we achieved the destination, we were chased out by guardians, beasts. I thank you for your service. My last question for you is, do you have any final requests? Yes! Give me a proper burial. The magic fades, and he goes inert. And she stands up, and she begins molding the earth to create a grave. What do you guys do?
Wait patiently.
Okay.
Yep.
She takes the body and places it in. I will give everyone a religion check.
Yay.
Stupid-doop-boop-a-doop-boop.
22.
22. So you somewhere is located in your database. You're not sure how you know this, but the denizens of Irusan, they prefer to be burnt before buried.
Which technically he was.
That, well, reduced to ashes and then placed inside of his tomb. Inside of his burial spot. Basically, so his ashes can return to the sands.
That is incorrect. We need to build a pyre first.
Oh, very well. Is there something that you know that I don't?
They prefer their ashes to return to sand.
Interesting. Very well. She begins taking out some dried pieces of wood and searches for some small tinders and whatnot, builds a fire, and we'll just elapse. Basically, she correctly buries she correctly burns the body and then incorporates the ashes into the sand and then covers the burial spot, and finally marks the place of death with 4 topped cairn stones. Very well. I believe it is done. Shall we continue?
I took a look at the map first.
Sure. What are you looking for?
So he described a cave.
Yes, to the east.
Is that marked anywhere on our
It
map?
is not on your map.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
You were heading north by northeast.
And it's directly east, or did he say west?
He said it is directly east. If I said west, I misspoke.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
I might have said west, but I meant east. Yeah.
Okay.
So
If we're not going straight east, there's a chance that we might miss it.
yes. If you go north by northeast, you're gonna get to the old ruins that were referred to. However, he mentioned east there being a cave, which is not in the same direction. If you keep going east on the map, you do see where mountains begin, but they're a little further away. So you're looking at about 4 days extra on your travel.
I'm good.
2 days there and 2 days back to your location is what I mean.
Mm.
So what do you guys do?
So it would effectively add 2 days to our travel if we used it as a detour.
Yes.
Well, we have two options. We can continue going to the ruins, or we can see if this cave has anything of use to our search.
What do you guys think?
Well, we were contracted to find the dragon, and if the dragon is in this cave to the east, then I think it is worth checking out. However, if it isn't, if it is a red herring, then we're losing nothing but resources.
I agree with that.
Well, shall we carry on to our original destination then?
Yeah.
I am personally in favor of checking out the cave, but I will go with whatever the group decides.
It's possible that we could continue to our main objective, and depending on how much resources we have after that, we can go and check out that cave.
How long until
Because
we
then-
reach the ruins? Checking the map, you would guess about 3 days.
Okay, 3 days to reach our main objective, and then it would add a 2-day detour to go to the cave?
Yes, to go
So it
to
would-
the cave, so it would be about 5 days to get to your destination instead.
Technically, the cave is closer,
Yeah,
in
because
theory.
if
that
you
is-
if you went to the cave now, it'd be 2 extra days. But if you went to the destination first and then went to the cave, it'd be an additional day. So if you go to your first destination and then detour back, it's gonna add 3 extra days, or 2 extra days if you go now. If you don't, or you don't go at all, and you save 2 days. Because it could be a trap because I'm an asshole.
Always a distinct possibility
it really is.
that I cannot just disregard.
As I do not require resources, I do not feel suited to making that decision.
So then you abstain?
Yes.
And how do you two vote?
Well, I mean, if we're looking for a dragon and a dragon horde, and we really only have a vague idea of where we're going, then we might as well cover as much ground as we can in the time that we can. So maybe we should go to the cave, since it only adds how many days now versus later?
2
again?
extra days instead of 3.
2 extra days instead of 3. So yeah, it seems like if we're going to go to the cave, which I have a sneaking suspicion that we're gonna end up going there regardless, then it might be a better.
Let's just
plan
go.
to
Let's
do
just
it
go to the
now.
cave.
See, eventually you get tired of me talking and then you make a decision.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, lead the way, Lenny.
Lonnie will lead the way.
Okay.
Directly east.
All right, you begin heading east. The day is mostly uneventful. Someone make a die 12 roll for me.
Not me, I always seem to do it.
The dye is orange.
Yeah,
Why is the dye orange?
because the die 12s are orange.
Oh,
So a 5. All right. So you begin heading in that direction. It is a pretty clear day with no serious events. You are able to basically travel in a straight line with no real detours, and spend the entire day traveling. You rest for the night, and at that time, while you're all around the campfire that night, um, Zinni, you get a voice, a familiar voice in your head. Hey, it's Maddie. I just wanted to say hi and hope that you're doing good. And that, we're tracking this dragon and we haven't found anything. I know what Beer's been like saying that we're ahead of you guys, but to be honest, we haven't found shit. That's the end of the message.
And this is one where I can reply, right?
Yes, you can reply up to 25 words.
Nice. Thank you. I figured he hadn't found shit.
Is that all you say?
Yeah.
All right. There's no response because she can't cast it again. But you rest for the night. The night is uneventful. Lunny keeps watch and nothing happens. And you continue walking. Somebody roll me one last die 12.
I'll do it this time, I guess. 4.
4. Okay. So you begin heading in a direction, and you see in the distance the mountain line is getting closer and closer, and you continue up ahead. Then you feel the ground below you begin to tremble. Make a reflex save. Everyone make a reflex save.
So dexterity.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dexterity. Yeah, reflex is 3.5.
I got an 8.
An 8, okay.
Lenny is not dexterous at all.
I rolled an 18!
Yeah! Nat 20!
Nat 20, alright. 18, nat 20. Elyusia. Not good at the dex.
Which is good because I have a +0 to my dex.
Same!
So, basically, you feel the rumbling below you, and immediately, Zinni, you take cover. You just jump out of the way before anything happens, and there's like a pocket of sand that begins like trickling inward, almost like it's like sinking in. And Visca, you recognize this and you jump out of the way as well. However, it is way too late for someone as heavy as both Lunny and Elyusia, and both of them fall. And you basically see, they just disappear into darkness. I'm gonna have you make another dexterity. No, I'm sorry, an athletics or acrobatics check, whichever is better for you.
I think I'm the same in either.
Athletics.
Actually.
Okay.
19.
Actually, I am proficient in acrobatics.
I don't think you need to.
Oh wait.
What?
Then you didn't fall.
Yeah,
I fell.
You didn't fall. Luddy and Elyusia did. You got a nat 20.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. All right. Anyone have feather fall?
I mean, I do, but I don't have it prepared for anything other than I have it as a ritual right now.
Featherfall is a ritual?
Yeah, you can ritual cast.
That's
it.
weird. It's reflexive though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you can't.
Oh wait, no, I have it on my known spells. I don't have it in my.
Oh,
right.
okay.
You can't ritual cast it. Okay.
And yeah, neither does Elyusia. So unfortunately, Elyusia's gonna take the full amount of damage, which is 3d6, as she plummets 30 feet. Not bad.
Ooh.
Not bad. Okay, because she got a full rest too. So let me do that.
And I
confirm
assume I
long
take
rest.
half of that because they succeeded.
And you take only 2 die 6. You basically nullified one of the die 6. You take 4 damage. Okay. Hook. Okay. So you hear a poof, and there's a giant kick up of sand all around you. You hit something hard. Both of you did. And she takes a moment. She walks over to you first before even checking herself and helps you get back up on your feet, Lunny. You look around. Do you have dark vision?
Do I have dark vision?
Does Lunny have dark vision?
Nope.
Okay, you can't see shit.
I cast dark vision on myself.
Okay, you cast dark vision on yourself, and you can see this. Everything becomes into focus as you're looking around. It looks as though basically everything's black and white with dark vision, and you can see it looks like you are in the inside of a cavern or a chasm of some sort underneath the sands, and the tunnel continues going east.
Does it look like it was dug out, or is it like an actual structure?
Make a nature check.
A what?
A nature check.
Uh, 17.
Okay. It looks like it was carved out by a large animal or something.
Of course it was.
It's like a tunnel of some sorts. It could safely fit. You would say it's about 10 feet tall by 15 feet wide.
That is very tall. This is very concerning to me.
Lenny's gonna look over to Alyosha. Should we try to find a way out?
Well, we could go up, or we could go forward. Are you all right up there?
Can you guys use mold earth to get out of there?
Probably.
Do you guys want to explore down there? See, now that's a legit question.
That's a legit question.
That is a legit question.
On one hand, it looks like it was made by a giant animal, and I'm not so sure we should run into it. On the other hand, it would keep us out of the sun.
Do dragons burrow?
Some of them, yes.
I mean,
I'm getting flashbacks to Monster Hunter.
If you want a better answer than that, I will give you a nature or an arcana check. If you want to know more.
Actually, what is my nature? Let's see. Nature, 16.
16. Okay. Yes. Okay. So yes, there are some types of dragons that do burrow, and they're blue dragons.
so lightning. Right?
Zinni, we're going down! I have rope, but I don't have anything to anchor it to.
That seems like it could be risky.
I'm going to
but
lower
okay.
you.
I could try to catch you.
That also works.
I mean, can you see at all down there?
No.
Hold on,
Okay.
hold on, hold on. Before we do something stupid like fall in a hole again.
Lots of holes.
Visca's like pointing at Zinni. She's going to take out her drift globe,
Okay.
and I'm going to use that.
Holy shit, you actually are using your magic item.
Yes, I am!
Okay, so you focus on your drift globe, and then it emits that bright light, and you can basically use telekinesis to move it around.
Well,
I'm literally casting the 1 day fucking daylight spell. It's a 3rd level spell.
Yep.
And I'm going to
Well-
gently drop it in the hole because it will just float.
Yep.
The damn thing floats.
so I have a question.
Yeah.
Is falling damage force damage, or is that something different?
It's falling damage.
It's falling damage, unfortunately.
It's
Yeah.
just falling.
I was asking because I'm resistant to that shit
Ah.
because of my magic item.
Okay.
Okay, now you guys can see. There's a fucking miniature
Yep.
sun.
There's a bright light that is cast. It is now well lit down there. You can see it creeps further into the distance. You can see twice as long with your dark vision, Luddy, and it looks like it curves a little bit, but for the most part, it goes straight until you see it like opens up into a larger cavern.
By the way, Drift Globe, the daylight spell, only lasts for an hour. But
Okay,
I have
good to
the
know.
light cantrip that I can just keep fucking using. It's just not as wide of a range.
Right.
Mhm.
So what do you guys do? Are you guys kind of try to jump down, use rope to get down, or
I'm gonna use rope. Fuck it, bro.
138 more till a crit drop? Awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna use rope.
You're gonna
I
use
have
rope? Okay.
I have 50. I think it's 50 feet. Hold on. I have to recheck my shit. Where is it? Equipment. Rope. Yeah, I have 50 feet worth of rope.
All right. We'll say that there is a large enough rock that you can tie a bit of your rope with that and kind of lower yourself down. It is a 50-foot rope, so it is able to get you all the way down. You can leave it there. That way you guys can get back up that way if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So just make
I
sure
must
that you
protect-
take your rope off of your inventory for the meantime.
Yup. 0 rope.
0 rope. Okay.
0 rope.
That will be a basic athletics check at the advantage since you're using rope.
Okay, hold on. I have to look at it.
Is it athletics?
Yeah, because it's strength.
Okay. Shit. I have a -2 in athletics because my strength is shit.
Me too, but you know what? Taking that risk is
I
better than
rolled a
outright fall.
11. 11.
DC was 10, so you kind of were slipping a couple times. You got a little bit of rug burn going on, unless you have gloves.
It's a
then
good thing that I wear gloves.
Yeah, you do wear gloves. That's right. I remember this. And yeah,
yes.
you just have no problem at all. You just zip on down, and all of you are now in this dark cavern that snakes forward. What do you do?
And I have
Funny.
a globe.
Yeah, Lenny's gonna start walking forward because
All
I never
right.
did ask. This is just a general question, but are dragons magical creatures? Are they considered magical creatures?
They are considered
D&D?
magical creatures. Yes,
They're magical creatures and they're very intelligent creatures.
very intelligent.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I didn't know if they were like in D&D if they were considered magic or just considered like fucking
Right.
scalekin or something.
Right.
No, they're intelligent creatures and they're very magic.
Someone
Okay.
roll me a die 100, please.
No.
No.
Okay. It's this one.
All right. Gonna mute myself for a second so I can run to the bathroom.
Sure.
A 67.
67.
My goddamn Spartan number.
Interesting.
I wish I was lying about that, but 67 is literally my Halo Spartan number. Can I use detect magic?
Detect magic? Sure.
It's a ritual though, because I don't
Sure.
have it as prepared.
Yeah,
so I was just
absolutely.
like, I'm
Let's
gonna
wait
use-
for Tia to come back, and we'll
Mhm.
go over the detect magic.
I am carrying my microphone with me, so I can still hear what's going on. I just won't speak.
Okay.
Okay.
I just have my mic turned off, so you guys
Okay.
can continue what you're doing.
All right, excellent. So you cast Detect Magic after the 10 minutes. You're looking about. You see a tiny shimmer of magic energy coming from within the cavern. However, when you turn to find the other part of your basically your surroundings, you look and you see Lunny is glowing brightly. Make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. $19.
19. Lunny, what do they see?
Around Lunny in general, there's a very heavy amount of enchantment magic mixed through with transmutation and invocation. Just you assume spells to keep parts of them working, if they are part plant. However, beneath that, through the small gaps and cracks in their tarnished brass shell, especially around their chest, there's a very thick necromantic aura seeping through.
You see that?
You know, that's not what I was looking for, but okay, never mind. And Alistair's not even going to, like, fucking question that. They're just like, okay, that's how Lunny's alive. That's not what I needed.
However, you did see a faint magical aura of the enchantment variety down the corridor. Because the way that Detect Magic works, the different schools of magic give a different color.
Lunny is colorful.
Yes.
Lunny is a rainbow. Meanwhile, down the hallway I saw enchantment.
Yeah, there is some sort of source of enchantment. It's very faint. It's in the bigger cavern that you can't really see in. It's almost like a flame, like a candle flickering.
Enchantment? That's mine.
That is yours.
There appears to be a type of enchantment spell further ahead. And we're not going to talk about Lunny's personal.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Lunny's what?
Yeah, it's complicated. I don't know how to explain the color spectrum of a shrimp.
I would like to know.
Lunny is magical.
What did you say?
Aren't we all?
A little too much.
You see her focus, and she's actually going to spend a spell so she doesn't have to take 10 minutes and uses Detect Magic.
Oh, great.
And looks down, looks up, peers in. She, like, leans in. She doesn't touch because she doesn't want to invade your personal space, but she traces an invisible line around your chest and says, Necromancy. Interesting. I knew I liked you.
Lunny just kind of quirks their head a little bit, like, what?
You have a very faint trace of necromancy seeping through your plates. Whatever is keeping you alive has some necromancy in it.
Does that apply to me?
You?
Yes.
Nope. You don't have any aura.
Interesting.
Yep.
Creepy. Okay.
All right then.
Continue.
All right.
Let's go.
You guys continue. You head down the dank, like cool. It is a nice change in temperature, for you guys. Caverns, as you know, you can smell that stench of just stagnated air, and you continue in, and it opens up into a larger cavern with several other caverns snaking out from it. About 3 other entrances. One looks like it might be caved in, and then there are two others that are open. However, with your detect magics activated, you do see this source of enchantment energy, and it is coming from underneath a rug, just lying in the center of this cavern. It looks like this was maybe once lived in. There are some sconces on the wall. If you guys don't know what a sconce is, it's basically what holds torches. And it looks like there's like the remnants of some books that have been disintegrated over time, as well as what looks like a large pit. Not a deep one, just a place to have like a bonfire. Yeah.
Casually cast fucking firebolt.
Firebolt
In the pit.
on the pit. All right. You light up the remnants of the fuel that was left in the fireplace, and it emits that 60-foot light. It's basically dwarfed by your drift globe right now, though, but it'll stay there for a little while and add some warmth too.
I wish to. So, what are the condition of the books?
The books are practically falling apart. It would probably take a mending spell just to pick it up.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just gonna break in your hands.
And the only thing that has a magic substance to it is the rug.
Yeah, it seems to be a rug. Yep, a very tattered, not very brightly colored rug.
Ooh, does that mean we get a magic carpet?
Considering how I said that Alistair has a bit of a sticky finger issue, he wishes to go to the rug.
All right, you go to the rug, and you see that the magic seems to be bleeding out from underneath it. Like the
I'm
rug,
going to pick up the rug.
like the rug itself isn't the magic; it's what's underneath it that's magical.
I'm going to pick up the rug.
Okay,
Yeet.
do you pick up the rug and roll it up, or you just kind of cast it to the side? How are you doing this?
I will roll that bitch up.
All right, you
like
roll
a
it up,
sushi.
and as you're rolling it up, you see what looks like metal bars, and then you hear a voice. Hello? And you roll it up, and you basically are looking down. Do you send the drift globe over to give you a kind of a look?
Yes.
All right. Well, there is a 10-foot by 10-foot cage, and inside you see what looks like an emaciated young man, probably no older than 19, 20 years old, and he's got chains around his arms, and he is latched to the cage, and he's just looking up. Oh, thank you so much. Please get me out of here.
Is the cage the thing that's magical?
It seems like the cage itself seems to be giving off a magic aura, as well as the individual inside of it.
The individual is magical.
Seems that way.
On a condition that I free you, what is your name?
My name is Tariania.
Wait a minute. Oh, was that the name of the dragon mate thing?
No, that was Tolra. This is Tariania.
Too close.
Yes.
Too close.
Sorry. I made up a name on the fly. The Bane question of a DM. What is its name? You can call me Tari.
Okay. I'm gonna use some of that corrosive dust on it.
On the bars?
Yes.
Okay. You basically take the corrosive dust, and I'm going to have you roll 4d8. It would have been double damage, but because it's magical, it's only going to do half. It's basically nixing out the critical hit. So roll 4d8 damage.
2, 3, 4. Uh, 14.
Okay, 14. You get about 2 feet of bars. If you guys helped him kind of get out, you could reach down and pull him through because of how skinny he is. He could possibly scrape himself on the bars, but he could wiggle his way out of there unless he used more.
Can I melt some of these bars?
You could try.
I'm gonna use burning hands.
Okay.
First
Use
level.
burning hands. You're gonna have to be a little bit away from it in order to not torch him.
That's fine.
Okay. So basically, you back up. You take your hands and you connect the thumbs, and then it arcs from that cone out from your fingertips and blasts forwards. And go ahead and roll damage.
3d6.
Okay, so you basically melt off a good chunk of the tips. You wait for it to cool down, but it basically smoothed it out so there aren't any jagged edges, and it gave him about 2 feet of extra wiggle room. So you could take him out safely without him impeding any injuries, sustaining any injuries.
Considering Lenny is probably one of the tallest and the strongest of the group, they're going to brace themselves and lean down to help him.
And Eliusia will reach around your waist to give you a little extra stability because she is also strong. Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Do I get advantage because Eliusia is
You are
helping?
being helped, yes, so you have advantage.
Oh, okay. I didn't look at that before. Athletics is strength, and acrobatics is
Nat
dex.
20?
Okay.
Natural
Yes.
20. With the extra help of Eliusia holding you in place, you just reach down, grab a hold of him, and effortlessly pull him up through the middle of the bars. And he... Oh, thank you so much.
What are you doing
What are
in
you
there?
doing down here?
I was captured. What did it look like?
I mean, yeah, but like by what? When? Why? How?
Who?
By that blasted dragon. May she rot in hell.
Why?
'Cause I was her plaything.
Dragons take prisoners.
This one does.
Well, I mean,
So
I was
dragons-
part of her collection.
oh right, because she's a chromatic dragon, and they like to collect things.
Well, all
This is-
dragons.
this
like
is-
to
this
collect
is not-
things.
Well, yes, but the
The
her
chromatic
chromatic
dragons
ones, like,
have, yeah,
peoples.
they've been known to collect people as well. Yes.
things I remember from the Underdark.
Yup. Yup.
That was not Zinni knowledge. That was pure me knowledge.
What are you all doing here? I assume you didn't come here to help me.
Well, we're tracking the dragon, and we found you.
Oh, I suppose you came to the right place, but dragon's dead. Yanteeth has perished.
Do you have a mate?
Let's see if this person knows that. It's possible, but if she did, I did not know of it.
Hmm.
Oh, if you wouldn't mind, can you point me a way out of here?
There's a rope that way.
I don't think he'll be strong enough to really climb a rope. How about we I'm trying to think.
Well, we haven't
So-
found any other exits.
Have you not seen any dragons since?
I haven't seen anything. I've been in a box.
I know what I'm saying. What I'm asking is, there hasn't been anyone else in this area.
Anyone ever told you that you ask too many questions?
Maybe
Yes,
we should
all
have
the
put him
time.
back in the box.
You will not do that. I will not let you.
I have
Now,
a question.
Visca's going to
please
look.
stand
Visca
out
is.
of my way before this gets violent.
If you've been in that cage this entire while, how do you know Yentif is dead?
I have my ways.
Zook,
Yes.
let me use Dreadful Gaze.
Dreadful Gaze?
Oh, yeah.
Explain what that does.
Target a creature it can see that I can see within 60 feet of it. If the target can see me, it must succeed in a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw against this magic, or become frightened
this-
until the end of my turn. Whatever turn is in roleplay.
I mean,
Let me see its stats. Hang on.
I'm gonna say that if
You say wisdom?
Yeah.
It rolls a 9. So you see it just kind of, you like lock eyes, your eyes turn black for a moment, and pierces into basically this person's soul. Not only does it like curl in fear as it takes a step back, you see a shimmer in its form, almost like there's something underneath it, and he just kind of backs off and, what are you?
What are you?
Yeah, what are you?
That is my business. I am wanting to get out of here. Now,
I
are
mean,
you preventing me from doing so?
No, we're just curious. Not often that you find someone who's just been kind of hanging out in a box for who knows how long.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then will you let me pass?
Runs?
The door's there.
He's going to very, like, keeping you in the corner of his eyes, Sig, Visca. He's going to basically back up and go around very slowly. And as soon as he's a good, like, 10 feet away from you guys, he books it for the rope. Do you guys stop him at all?
I mean, again, we're all familiar with magic. We're gonna know, like, would it not be something pretty common that, like, since we don't give off, like, well, I mean, except for Lenny, like, we don't give off magic auras. So the fact that this dude or whoever does is disturbing.
Yes.
And probably not something that we want to be fucking with.
That is a very astute connection.
And again, while we as players might not be that bright sometimes, our characters are not stupid.
Okay, so do you let this person go?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see it run into the darkness. Eventually, you lose sight of the individual, except for the pierce of sun coming from the hole. As you see this form take place, it shapeshifts, turns into this large beast, almost lion-like, grabs a hold of the side of the wall, and jumps up effortlessly. And you hear a as it lands on the surface, and then you see the rope just and falls to the ground.
Motherfucker.
Thanks.
If somebody would like to roll an Arcana check to know what that thing was, because you did see the back end of it, you may do so.
Sure.
Oh, why are you being a butthead?
Nope.
That's a big old nope from there.
Nope, for me as well. I rolled a 7.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah, you
no
have
idea.
no idea what that thing was, but you let it go.
That sure was a lion butt.
That was a lion butt.
Maybe. Did I even know that it was a lion butt?
Yeah. I
Well,
mean, it
you
looked
never
like a lion butt sort of thing. Hey, thank you so
Well,
much for the bits again, Loki. Man, you are too generous.
No, I'm just saying that because I botched that shit.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Well, that was an Arcana check, so beep. Okay, the
That was a
creature.
perfectly normal
that was-
lion.
Bit. That was Bit.
That was
Loki
what?
said give crit to Lenny.
Oh, get crit to Lunny. Do you want to use it for that roll? Because I assume he was probably donating it as I was asking you guys to roll. So if you want to use that roll to know what this thing is, I will give you a natural 20. Up to you. I will remind you that the game is probably going to be coming to a close for the night fairly soon.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Lenny digs it up in their data bank.
So your database, you have heard of these creatures before. They are known as Lamias. They are basically like they actually enslave those creatures that you saw before, the jackalwares, to do their bidding for them. And they are magical creatures. They can shapeshift. They have innate casting abilities, vicious claws. They have an intoxicating touch. They are not very good things. They're like evil sphinxes, is a good way to look at it.
Wonderful. But likely something that we could not go toe-to-toe with at the moment.
They're often referred to as tyrants of pleasure.
Nice.
So it stands to reason that is probably why the dragon was collecting it. Because it was a rare thing.
Mhm.
And you guys let it go. Hey, you did good though. You avoided a fight.
Well,
Okay, so
it'll probably come back to bite us in the ass.
we will leave the game there. You guys are now in the opening. You have let the Lamia free. There are 3 passageways that you can go down. One looks very collapsed. One's the way you came in, that you no longer have rope to get up, but you could mold earth to get out if you wanted to. And 2 other caverns that look like they have been well traveled. So that's where we end tonight's session. That was fun. I had a lot of fun with that session. I hope you guys did as well. So yeah, like look forward to next week, and they'll be exploring the caverns, maybe, unless they leave. Depends on them. But yeah, looks like things might be wrapping up pretty soon for this story arc as they get closer to figuring out what's going on with the missing horde. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, toodaloo.
Bye!
There's the table.
There it goes.
Yeah, I hit the button and it just wasn't going.
All right, bye guys.